troubles at a Mount Barker housing estate called Matilda Rise. Since we broke the story this week, other buyers have come forward with stories of long delays, some approaching 2 years to get the title to their land. And we're told others haven't been able to move in, even though they paid their deposit in early 2017. Here's Hendrik Gout.
Where do you get them? Matilda Rise in Mount Barker.
Every month we were disappointed.
Heaps of people have been waiting for it, or it's ready to go.
When they told us settlement would be this month, and it never was. It was heartbreaking.
It's easy.
You remember Matilda Rise, the Mount Barker housing development, which isn't all that developed.
Once you go past 3 months, 6 months, a year of delays, you start getting a bit worried about what's going on.
It's behind-the-scenes promoters, Hyde Park property developers Chris Back and Jason Biernaert. It's front-of-screen promoter, radio and television broadcaster Andrew Costello.
G'day Scallywags, it's Cozzy. The big blocks are back. It is an insanely beautiful property development, Matilda Rise in Mount Barker.
The master plan even includes a Costello Crescent. It seemed incredible, a gorgeous lake, a rural ambience. This is the lake. This is the ambience. And for planned investors in Chris Back and Jason Biernaert's venture, the promise of incredible returns, an almost unbelievable 20%. The offer subsequently never went ahead, and neither, in the designated time frame, has Matilda Rise estate.
We settled about 18 months past our initial contracted date.
That's a very long time to wait.
Too long, yeah, far too long.
We paid Matilda Rise a visit at its corporate office in Hyde Park, where we spoke with Mr. Biernaert. My name's Hendrik Gout from Channel 7.
How are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
We're calling about that Matilda Rise estate.
Yep.
Where that fellow has been waiting for 2 years to get his title.
Yep.
What's the hold-up?
Well, the title hasn't been created as far as I'm aware.
Right, but the contract settlement was December 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So why is the title not handed over?
Well, it hasn't been created.
There's Mel and Lachlan Burgess. Their great Australian dream made for sleepless nights.
We ended up having a bit of a worrying moment when they were looking for a rewording of that contract.
Down the road, Jason and Taylor Botton are getting deliveries. They're finally moving into their new home this weekend. They'd been promised settlement in October 17. They got it in the middle of this year.
October 2017 came and went, and there was no settlement with no real explanation as to why, just that there'd been delays, and we would have it by Christmas, then by February 2018, and the excuses kept coming.
When we first exposed the problems at Matilda Rise, we interviewed buyer Phil Nottage. He was promised title by December 17.
We still don't have title to this day.
2 years later.
2 years later.
In preparing that story, we emailed Chris Back how many other buyers were affected. None, he replied. Since then, we found Jason and Taylor, Mel and Lachlan. We emailed Chris Back. We haven't had a reply. Meanwhile, Jason's neighbours finally gave up.
Purchased elsewhere. I'm not sure where they purchased, but they purchased elsewhere because they just couldn't afford to wait any longer.
Costello Crescent is still to be carved out of the paddocks. Jason and Taylor were planning their build on their land in 2017.
There was no sealed roads, no services, no water, no sewage, no internet, no electricity until the start of 2019.
And Lachlan, still to move in.
When we get there for Christmas, I'll probably have a bit of a party on the deck, but we won't be moved in, I don't think, at this point. But yeah, you can dream. You can dream.
From their Hyde Park HQ, Jason Biernaert and Chris Back continue to offer the Matilda Rise Earth.
The whole process of waiting and waiting and waiting was horrible, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
You want to be quick, folks? This place is absolutely awesome. Do yourself a favour, go and check it out.